You will make it through. The Fitrah is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The Fitrah is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
Alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our Aqidah class. And this is the class whereas we are speaking about the Fitrah of the heart. And this is the concept of Aqidah that many Muslims today fail to understand the meaning of. I believe because it hasn't been correctly explained, and many people who attempt to explain it don't really understand the meaning of it themselves, due to many reasons. Maybe they haven't been taught correctly what the Fitrah is. Also, for some, there's a problem with language. It's hard to translate a lot of these concepts from Arabic into English. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well. But the Fitrah is a sliver of what's left over from what was originally part of the soul. And what we need to understand as Muslims is that after Allah created Adam alayhi salam, he ran his hand across his back, and that's when the souls of all humanity appeared. My soul, your soul, the soul of our parents, our grandchildren, every human being, all of our souls appeared after Allah created Adam alayhi salam. Most Muslims are not aware of that. So we were originally created after Allah created Adam. And it didn't take a sperm. It didn't take an egg. Allah simply said, be, and we became. So we were already in existence. All right. And after Allah created us, he gathered all of our souls together at Mount Arafat. And after he gathered us together, he had us testify to La ilaha illallah. He had us testify that there is no deity worthy of worship other than he. Where am I getting all of this from? Am I getting it off of Google? No. Am I getting it off of Wikipedia? No. Am I getting it out of some Islam Q&A website? No. I'm getting it right straight out of the Quran. Our book, the Quran, gives us this. That's why it's important to do as the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, to sit in the company of the people of knowledge and learn your religion from the people of knowledge. Okay, you cannot teach yourself Islam. You can't just pick up the Quran and start reading it on your own. How many of you have read the Quran 1,000,000 times in your lifetime? And all the times you've read the Quran, you've read that verse and it's never hit you. You never understood that verse to mean that because you were reading it and that verse was never explained to you by a person of knowledge before. You have to learn this religion from the people of knowledge. That's why you have to be very careful reading the Quran. The same with the hadiths. Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that the hadiths are the explanation of the Quran. You will never understand the Quran, he said, until you learn the hadiths. So that verse of the Quran is given. The Quran are the words of Allah. And then the hadith goes into detail explaining that verse. The hadith is found in Sahih Bukhari. Don't ask me what book. If you ask me what book, that means you shouldn't be asking me. That means that you need to learn your religion from a person of knowledge. You need to sit in the company of the people of knowledge. You need a teacher to sit down with you and teach you what I am teaching you, basic aqidah. Okay? Instead of trying to look it up for yourself, that means you need to come to my classes and let me be your teacher and I'll guide you. Okay? I'll guide you to the truth, like I'm guiding all my students to the truth. My students have went over that hadith inside and out. Okay? All right? My students have been over that verse in the Quran inside and out. I've guided them through it. Okay? Broke it down to them. Quizzed them on it. A to Z. Okay? So the hadith details it from A to Z, breaks it down. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith is from, narrated by Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, that after Adam, the soul was blown into Adam, Allah ran his hand across Adam's back and all of our souls appeared. And Allah gathered us all at Arafat, and we all testified to the truth that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah. So it is written, so it has been done. Okay? And then after we testified to that truth, that's when Allah offered us a gift, the same gift that he offered to the sun, to the moon, to the stars, the same gift that he offered to the animals. He even offered it to the angels. The rest of the creation, they all refused that gift because they knew the gravity of accepting it. The only creation before us that accepted it were the jinn. And that gift is the gift of free will. We accept it. We accepted it just like the jinn did because we're foolish, just like the jinn are. And since we accepted that gift of free will, that means that we not only have the ability to make our own choices in life, but it also means that we will be held accountable for those choices we make. So every choice that we make in this world, it comes with a consequence. If the choice is good, we'll be rewarded for it. If the choice is bad, there'll be punishment for it. But Allah, he's merciful. Allah's mercy supersedes everything. Keep that in mind. So after Allah had us testify to the truth, and after Allah offered us the gift of free will, which we accepted, Allah then gathered our souls and kept us wherever Allah keeps all the souls. And only Allah knows where those souls are kept. And as Allah tells us in the Quran, if they ask you about the soul, tell them only Allah knows. Okay? And our souls are kept there until your mother became pregnant. When your mother became pregnant and that sperm drop turned into a fetus, that's when Allah commanded the angels, the angel who's assigned to the souls. Allah told the angel who's assigned to the soul, he looked at your soul. He looked at my soul and he said, see that soul over there? I want you to gather that soul. Take that soul and I want you to breathe it into the womb of that woman. And that's when your soul was breathed into the womb of your mother. That's when my soul was taken from wherever Allah keeps them, and it was breathed into the womb of my mother. Okay? But it changed. I want everybody to pay attention. It changed because wherever Allah keeps the souls, it's up there. It's not a part of this world. And remember, Allah tells us in the Quran, nothing in the hereafter resembles anything in this world, even though they may share the same name. Okay? So the soul is a soul up there. The soul is a soul down here. But these two things are not the same. When Allah had that angel blow your soul, my soul, into the womb of our mothers, the soul changed. Number one, it now was attached to a body. It didn't have a body up there. Remember, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, no one from this world will ever be up there in body and soul until the day of judgment. So there's your dalil. And what's the source of that dalil? Sahih Bukhari. Okay? So the soul changed, it transformed when it was blown into the womb of your mother, my mother. It attached to a body. It didn't have a body wherever Allah keeps it. And another transformation resulted. The Fitrah detached. The Fitrah detached from the soul, and it attached to a body part. It attached to the heart of that fetus. And that's when that heart began to beat. Boom, 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 boom. As soon as that soul attached to the body, the Fitrah attached to the heart, and boom, 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 boom. So that soul is different. It's not the same as it was there. And also something else happened. The soul forgot everything. It forgot everything about its existence up there. The soul doesn't remember anything about Arafat. It remembers nothing about the angels. It remembers nothing about the time that it's spent wherever Allah keeps it up there. It remembers nothing about its existence up there. Everybody understand that? So the angel takes care of that fetus. That soul is not a soul anymore. It's now becoming a human being. It's now developing into a human being, a baby. And then when your mother gave birth to you, when my mother gave birth to me, we come into this world a different creature. We are a human being with a body, with body parts, with a brain, with a heart, with lungs, with feet, with hands, something that we didn't have up there. We didn't have those things up there. Because again, as the Prophet Muhammad said, nothing in this world resembles anything in the hereafter. We're different. Okay? And we come into this world not remembering anything about our life before. We don't remember nothing about how we've spent our existence since the time of Adam, since our creation. And our soul has been in existence. Think about it, guys. We're old. Our souls are old. Our souls have been in existence since the time of Adam, alayhi salam. But our souls don't remember anything about Adam, about Eve, about paradise, about the angels. Our souls don't remember anything about our time. All we have is the Fitrah that's left. And all the Fitrah knows is it's on a mission. It knows that it's supposed to seek the truth. All it knows is it's supposed to submit to Allah. It's supposed to seek out the truth. It's trying to find its way back to what it can't remember. That's all. That Fitrah knows that I'm trying to find my way back to something. I don't know what, but it's something. I'm trying to find my way back to something. I'm supposed to be in submission to something. I need to find the truth of what my purpose is. That's the Fitrah. Because it doesn't remember anything else. So we come into this world curious, not remembering anything about where we come from. All we know is we have a purpose. We don't know what that purpose is, but we know we got a purpose. I know that I was created for a reason. I know I'm supposed to do something. I know that there's something better than all this. I'm living my life. I'm going through problems. Life is nothing but one big disappointment. I grow up. I had a hard childhood. I've had good times. I've had bad times. Good things happen to me in life, but I get disappointed. There's no happiness here. All I know is there got to be something. And I'm sure all of you feel this way. We know that there has to be something better than this. We are Muslims. We believe in Allah. We live our lives obeying Allah. We live our lives practicing this religion. We are not Muslim in name only. Let's give everyone listening to me the benefit of the doubt. We don't fornicate. I've never committed adultery. I've never committed fornication. I've never did drugs. I've never smoked alcohol. We dress the way we're supposed to dress. We pray all our prayers. We fast the month of Ramadan. We do what we're supposed to do, but life still throws us curveballs. We still get married and we still go through problems. We still don't find the right person. We get married and we're still miserable. We have children and our children disappoint us. We get a job and the job ain't worth it. So we know there's something better than all that. That's the Fitrah. That's the Fitrah, guys. The Fitrah knows that there's something better than all of this. The Fitrah experienced better than this. The Fitrah, it experienced the presence of Allah. The Fitrah experienced the grace of Allah. The Fitrah experienced the mercy of Allah. The Fitrah experienced the company, the companionship of the angels. That's why you ain't gonna find no happiness in this world. Do you understand? Nothing in this world resembles anything up there. We were there once. Do you sisters get it? We were there with Adam, alayhi salam. We experienced true bliss long time ago when Allah created us. And then he put us here in our mother's womb to be tested, to see if we are worthy of going back to that. So that's why you are not going to have happiness here, because nothing will compare to that. Do you sisters get it? You sisters will call me on the phone. Sister Layla, why come I just can't have happiness? You got to prove to Allah that you deserving of that. You had it before. You had it before. We all had it once. Now prove that you are deserving of it eternally. Nothing comes easy. Sisters, we tasted it once. We tasted it for many years. Now prove that you are deserving of it eternally. Your Fitrah, it's craving it. If you listen to your heart, and Allah has given us all an angel to inspire us. You have a jinn assigned to your heart. Yes, that's true. But Allah has also given us an angel that's assigned to the heart too. Instead of you women listening to that jinn, listen to the angel. The angel is whispering too. But the jinn, he speaks louder. Listen to the soft tones of that angel and follow the Fitrah. The Fitrah is saying truth, truth, truth. The truth is a bitter pill to swallow. Nobody wants to accept the truth. Nobody wants to hear the truth. But it's right there in front of you. Accept it. Submit to it. Subhanallah. That's the fitrah. Stop giving in to that emotional crap. That emotional crap that comes from that jinn, sisters. That emotional crap may satisfy you temporarily. The angel is not what you want to hear because it's bitter. The truth is bitter, but the truth is satisfying. All right? And we're going to talk about that more today when we do our Islam Q&A. Okay? And that's what this class is all about. This class is all about the fitrah. If I were to ask the average Muslim what's the fitrah, y'all say y'all call yourselves reverts. And like I tell you, ain't none of you, no, there's no human on this planet that's a revert, because you can never revert to your original source. None of us could ever revert to going back to how we were at the time of Adam. Because as the Prophet Muhammad said, nothing in this world compares to the hereafter. You and I can never go back to our original state of being a soul without a body that's innocent, that is driven to nothing but the truth and submittance to Allah. So you Muslims today have to stop calling yourselves reverts. You are not a revert to anything. Okay? You are a convert. Look up the meaning of convert in the Webster's dictionary. Convert means to adapt a new ideology, a new lifestyle. If you would stop calling yourself a revert, then maybe you would be a better Muslim. Because when you convert to Islam, you're taking on a new lifestyle. You're taking on a new identity. You have to change your lifestyle from a kafir. That means no more boyfriends, no more girlfriends. A lot of y'all convert to Islam and you still got girlfriends. You still got boyfriends. You still smoking weed. You're still drinking alcohol. Y'all still doing the same filthy sins. And you say you a revert. You ain't not. That's the problem. You're supposed to be a convert to this religion. You have to convert to Islam. You're not a revert to nothing. You will never be a revert to this religion. You will never be a revert until you cross the Sirat bridge into paradise. Then you will revert to your originality. You will be the size of a palm tree. You will be the original size of Adam, the height of a palm tree then. But until you cross the Sirat bridge, you will never into paradise. You will never be a revert. So maybe that's the first step you Muslims of the world today need to take. Stop using the wrong terminology for yourselves. You are converts. You're supposed to be. If you convert to this religion, that means you have to give up all the bad sins you're doing. You have to change your lifestyle. No more sex on the internet. That's the number one problem that you Muslims are doing. How many of you brothers and sisters are talking to women and men who are not your wives and husbands? That's the number one problem we have with our Muslim youth and our old Muslim women and men too. Y'all sitting up on social media having sexual relations and friendships with women and men that you're not married to. That's a sin. That's adultery and fornication in Islam. Stop calling yourself a revert. Reverts bring in their sinful behaviors. Be a convert and give up the sex. Be a convert, give up the marijuana. Be a convert, give up the dreadlocks. Be a convert, give up the alcohol. Be a convert, wear the proper hijab. Be a convert, dress without a belt tied around you, sisters. Be a convert, stop wearing straight leg pants. Be a convert, make your voices strong like mine is. When you speak publicly, sisters, when men are around, your voices are supposed to be like mine when men are around. You're not supposed to have those sweet baby doll voices. That's what Allah says in the Quran. That's why I speak this way on the internet. Okay? Be a convert, not a revert, because you are never going to be a revert. Not in this world. That's what Allah says. And that's what the Prophet says. When you look up the meaning in English of that word, we have to get some intelligence. The Prophet Muhammad said, this nation will never have the intelligence that the Christians have. That's why the Christians make fun of us. We're knuckleheads. We're not too intelligent. And it shows with how we twist words around and their meanings. All right. So today we're going to continue our discussion on the Fitrah, and I hope I broke it down. I tried to break it down again for the new converts so you understand the Fitrah. The Fitrah is the inclination to seek out the truth and submit to Allah's will. That's what the Fitrah is. And Allah has assigned an angel to the heart to help us in that. But most of us don't listen to the angel. We're too busy following and listening to the jinn. So let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. All right. Okay. Let me know if it does that again. I think I might have hit the wrong button too. Okay. Y'all ready? Here we go. So tonight, this is the volume 2 of the book. And we're going to be covering pages 45 through 49 of the book, guys. And hold on for 1 second. Let me do this too. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm getting ready to log in on there too, sister, so I can see. Hold on for a second. I tell y'all, I'm on so many different platforms. The Islam Q&A show is at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got some people in Australia. Okay. Y'all, I'm on so many different. Okay, yeah. 9:30 Eastern Standard Time is my Islam Q&A show tonight. Okay. So, okay, I can see it on there now. Okay, so tonight we're going to be covering pages 45 through 49 of the book. We're going to speak about how the Fitrah struggles. How, again, the Fitrah is that innate desire to seek the truth and submit to Allah. But the struggle of the Fitrah is so hard living in a secular society like America. It is so hard for that Fitrah to do that. That's what we're going to speak about. Okay? Okay, let's see. So, the following Quranic verse vividly displays the consequences as to how living in a society like America, due to the educational system here, the mass media, the influential socioeconomic structures, how all these things stand in the way of our Fitrah basically finding its way back to Allah. And on the day of judgment, Allah narrates in the verse I'm about to read a beautiful exchange that's going to occur between the influential individuals who had control over these establishments and the people who were influenced by them. So let's take a look at this verse of the Quran. Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, if you could see when the unbelievers and the wrongdoers are the Muslims, those of us who were weak enough to let social media, to let the educational system stand between, us and our religion. Okay? I want y'all to pay attention to these words. Allah says, if you could see when the unbelievers and the wrongdoers will be made to stand before their Lord, how they will cast the blame word for word upon each other. Those who were weak will say to those who were arrogant, were it not for you, we should certainly have been believers. And those who were arrogant will say to those who were weak, did we keep you back from guidance after it came to you? No, you were an unbeliever. You chose to be a sinner. You chose to be a criminal. You chose to be disobedient to Allah. Those who were weak will say to those who were arrogant, no, it was your plotting by day and night when you ordered us to disbelieve in Allah and to set up rivals with him. And each of these parties will conceal their own regret for disobeying Allah during their life in this world, when they behold the punishment. And we shall put iron collars around their necks. All of those who disbelieve, are they requited except for what they used to do? So here we can see on the day of judgment, those people, those Muslims who chose to give in to the sex, the drugs, the alcohol, the marijuana, the text messaging, and all this fitna, these sinful things we're doing, we're going to sit around blaming each other when the blame is going to be on you. And there's nothing you can do. You can't take it back. So in this scene, the followers and the influencers, they're going to stand before their Lord and they're going to have words with each other, blaming each other. But both of them will find the hellfire because of the choices they make. That's why I'm telling you guys, whatever choices we make in this world, they're going to come back to haunt us when we are in that grave. And they're going to haunt us on the day of judgment. Okay? You're going to be wishing that you had to listen to these classes. You're going to be wishing that you had to listen to your heart instead of listening to your soul. So this portrayal emphasizes the importance of accountability. The misled, the weak people, they hold the powerful accountability for their actions. You can't blame nobody but yourself, because remember, we all have free will. You could have walked away. You could have chose better people to hang around. You could have chose to turn the internet off. You could have chose to move away to a different city, a different location. You didn't have to sit there and be a part of that. So as Muslims, we are encouraged to seek knowledge, the proper knowledge of our religion. We are encouraged to deepen our understanding of our religion. And we are encouraged to maintain a strong, deep connection with Allah. Because only through knowledge and proper understanding of our religion can we navigate the challenges that are posed by society. And remember, guys, society gets worse every day. That's why I tell you guys, your children should be homeschooled. No Muslim should have their Muslim children in non-Muslim school. And even the Muslim schools are getting bad. They got the same filth going on in Muslim schools. If you can't afford to put your kids in a Muslim school, homeschool your children. You'll be better off homeschooling them than putting them in a non-Muslim school where they're exposed to LGBTQ. They're exposed to drugs. They're exposed to sex. Even the non-Muslims are taking their kids out of school, homeschooling them. So that Quranic scene serves as a reminder of the consequences of misguided influence. It emphasizes the role of preserving and nurturing the fitrah of our heart. Remember, the fitrah is searching for the truth. The fitrah is searching for submittance to Allah. The fitrah knows that there's something better than all of this. It's searching for it. Okay? Subhanallah. And again, living in a society like America, a society like this will cause us to question the existence of Allah. We're faced with this all the time. The objective of a society like this is to instill doubt and skepticism about Allah's existence. You know, you put your kids in a non-Muslim school, even going to college. When we go to the universities, especially these Ivy League colleges like Harvard, Brown, they want you to question divine authority. They discourage people from embracing the guidance of Allah in their daily lives. These educational systems are set up to sow seeds of doubt. They undermine the very foundation of faith. They lead individuals to detach from spiritual connection and moral guidance. When attempts to eliminate Allah's existence, is there. And look what happened to some of these famous Dawah brothers. We had some brothers who graduated from the University of Medina. Look what happened to them when they went to these Ivy League colleges like Harvard and got PhDs. They went from being upon the sway of the Salaf to being Sufi mystics, questioning the authority of Allah, questioning whether or not they can tweak Allah's laws, questioning the authenticity of the Quran itself, the authenticity of the hadiths themselves. Subhanallah. A secular society such as America is set up to blur the line between the creator and his creation. This is even what happened during the time after the companions. When Islam spread, throughout Persia, that's what happened. They began to mix Islam with philosophy and science and blur the line and ridicule and mock Allah, mock the significance of Allah's names, the significance of Allah's attributes. Again, the ultimate goal is to weaken the impact of Allah's guidance on the human heart and distance us from our spiritual connection and moral principles. And the secular world, the Zionist world, is succeeding, okay? And not only do they want us to question Allah's existence, but also the existence of his guidance. And Allah's guidance is crucial. It's crucial in molding our thoughts and our principles and behaviors. In a secular society, there may be attempts to minimize value and alter the teachings of thoughts and principles and behaviors. Look at America. It's all about pronouns now. It's all about the LGBTQ. It's all about feminism now. A woman shouldn't have to be at home. A woman's priority shouldn't be her family. She should be equal to men and all of that crap. Attacks on the authority of religious scriptures and misinterpretations of our books, cause uncertainty and distrust and lead people away from the moral compass provided by religion. America's always been a Zionist country. That's why the early settlers broke away from England. They didn't want to be ruled by a monarchy. They didn't want to be governed by the Bible. America became a Zionist a country then. Subhanallah. These type of platforms aim to promote narratives that align with secular ideas by downplaying the value of religion. Subhanallah. And we're allowing it to happen. Instead of us Muslims putting emphasis on a Muslim identity, we're aligning with non-Muslims and adapting their identity. And as a result, we've lost faith in Allah's guidance and the values and qualities, that Allah has sent down for us. I got Muslims on the internet that are calling me a racist because I keep telling you guys and giving you the dalil that dreadlocks, locks are haram. I didn't make the laws, Allah did. Okay, the Prophet is one that said anyone who has hair must be able to comb through it on a regular basis and oil it and comb it and wash it and don't let it lock up and knot up like the jinns. That's an authentic hadith. I didn't say that, the Prophet did. Allah says in the Quran, he's the one that talks about the tree of Zakum, whose fruits are like the head of jinns. But I'm the racist. This is what happens when we allow secular society, to take us away from divine guidance and its values and its qualities and overshadow it and reject it. So as Muslims, we have to engage in critical thinking and we have to deepen our study of our religion, and not allow society, to cause us, to abandon our religious concepts and our religious principles. Also, another problem that we have living in a secular society is we allow the society to cause us to undermine accountability. And that's a big problem today. In secular narratives, the belief in the day of judgment becomes distorted or undermined. The concept of ultimate justice and retribution for your actions is dismissed or diluted, and it causes individuals to question or disregard the results of their decisions. Why is it that we sit here and engage in drugs, alcohol, and sex out of wedlock, girlfriends, boyfriends, having intimacy and relationships with women who are not your wives, men who are not your husbands or mahrams out of wedlock? It's because we undermine accountability. We say we believe in the day of judgment, but we really don't. Okay? In numerous religious traditions, the belief in the day of judgment serves as a potent moral compass, instilling a sense of responsibility and purpose. It emphasizes that actions have repercussions, not only in this world, but in the hereafter as well. If a person doesn't believe in that, then they'll give in to their desires. They'll follow their desires. They'll listen to the soul instead of listening to the heart. They'll ignore the Fitrah and give in to their loins. Subhanallah. Lack of accountability can erode your sense of personal, social, and civic responsibility. It can foster an environment in which people feel justified in pursuing their desires and interests without thinking about the impact of their actions on others or the community as a whole. A lot of you women, y'all play around on this internet with these men, especially these famous brothers. And I keep telling y'all, these famous brothers ain't nothing but famous brothers. They're sorry husbands. If these famous brothers are sitting around, talking to you on the phone, messaging you on WhatsApp, and they got 2, 3, 4 wives and 30 children, 20, 30 children. How can they be that the time they spending with you and you ain't even a wife? First of all, they committing adultery. Secondly, that's time that they taken away from their children and their wives. That should tell you they bad men. These are bad brothers. These brothers ain't no good. They're bad men. This is unethical behavior. This is not Islamic behavior. And look at you. You're a skank. You're not a God-fearing Muslim woman. You ain't no different than a Kafir woman on the street that's giving yourself away. You're destroying somebody's home. You're a home wrecker. You're destroying somebody's family. You're taking away from some children's time. Shame on you. And that's why Allah is probably cursing you in your life. Your life is miserable. And remember, sisters, what goes around comes around. You hurt somebody's children. You hurt some other woman. It's going to come back on you double. Beware, beware, beware of the supplication of the oppressed women out there. And there's a lot of sisters who are unhappy and oppressed because their husbands are crooked. Their husbands are treating them badly. Their children are suffering. And you want to be a skank, an internet skank, thinking some man going to marry you? You better beware of them brothers, those famous brothers, wives and children and their supplications. You're going to get knocked down in a bad way with your skanky self. Accountability. Remember the impact of your actions on others. Life is a circle. It goes around. We don't believe in karma as Muslims. We believe in accountability. Remember that, women. And remember that, brothers, too. So, without belief in a higher authority that holds individuals accountable, some people succumb to the temptation of self-interest, ignoring the potential long-term repercussions of their actions. But the believers don't. A lack of accountability can hurt social cohesion and ethical standards. Remember that, okay? So